here with Joel and Kolby, Frederick Skyline. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's the name of the team. When you're soccer, when did you bring the team to Frederick?
I brought it to Frederick on January 10th of this year, but we've been around for about a year and a half privately. Because it was for fun first. Then a local sponsor ended up meeting me because my sister used to work for him. Was like, hey, I want to sponsor you. And I was like, whoa, we're not even like an actual thing. So we ended up just starting for fun. We were known as Westernville first. And then we rebranded to Frederick Skyline. In the fall of last year was kind of the breaking point. That's when we noticed this could be something special. Our men's team made it to the semifinals. We hosted that game at Otella Park off Jefferson Street.
Okay.
And I would say we should have sold tickets that game because a lot of people came out that game. Unfortunately, we lost to a team called Short Sports, which ended up winning the entire thing. When I spoke to that coach, he said that this was the final, and he felt like the atmosphere here was amazing, and we had something special in Frederick. So I connected back with Kolby, because Kolby used to be a board member when we first started, but things were a little hectic. We were just starting, wasn't really too big then. Then we noticed that things were getting bigger and bigger, so I brought him back on board. He agreed. We met with Debbie from the chamber, and then we ended up joining right on the wave of the Flying Cows, so it was kind of great that the Flying Cows were coming, and then we were right behind them. Yeah. It was like a pretty big wave of sports coming around. And then once we launched January 10th is when the influx of the following and the fans and the kids were just like, wait a minute, where did you guys come from? But yeah, we sat down, took a vote. We talked to the players, and they're like, this is what we want to do. We're ready.
Okay.
So we've launched it January 10th, and then we had our first game on April 7th at Hood College. Okay. And then we ended up, it was a rough start. I think the attention got to the players, even though they wanted it. And then we finally just sat them down. I was like, hey, look, this is what you wanted. Forget the regulations, forget the expectations, just have some fun. Ended up winning out the second part of the season with 3 points in playoffs.
Okay.
So ever since we've started reality, this is the first season where we missed playoffs.
Okay. And you brought the team and organized the team? Are you the team owner?
Yeah, from top to bottom. I started it with a piece of paper. Started as a fun thing, then it turned into this big item where we're at now. So
yeah. Okay. So what do you hope for 2025?
2025 is going to be either moving up a league, because as we're being private, the other leagues in the area have reached out. I was like, hey, you got something special in Frederick. Something about Frederick that catches our eye. So we started talking and then negotiating, but there were certain things that we needed to check off. We have the team, we have the stadium, but what they're looking for is fans, community engagement. So in 2025, from now until the spring season comes, it's going to be a lot of community engagements, players meeting people out in the community, and then we're looking for that first game of spring to be something special.
Okay. So why soccer? Is soccer something you've always played?
Yeah, I've been playing soccer since I was 4. But this is honestly kind of my father's dream. My father used to have a team back in the day when I was little. And I used to run around the sidelines playing with the kids, thought I was on the team, and I was like, no, sit down. But it turns out just to give opportunity. I was blessed enough that my father worked hard to play in FC Frederick, the Alliances, and other great teams in the area. Okay. But I had friends that were much better than me. I'm not afraid to say it, just financially couldn't afford it, even the payment plans. Right. And to this day, even at an adult level, there's just a pay-to-play system that just isn't right. That kind of what makes the United States behind in soccer and other countries is we have to physically pay to kick a soccer ball, rather other countries simply provide it for free, and they focus on development and that system of soccer, which is why if you look at the World Cup, USA never really wins it for the men's. But on the women's side, they do it correctly. The women's side, they really focus on the women development soccer, which is why our women are 4-time champions, which is amazing to see. So I sat down with the wife and talked to Kobe a little bit and friends I had in the area. I was like, hey, what are we missing? And it was a true soccer team that gave opportunities for people to actually play rather than sticking to that pay-to-play system like, hey, come pay me and you play. So we ended up doing some numbers. It looks like the league we're in, players still pay to play, but we're actually about 72% less than any team in the area that charges to play. Each season, our goal is to lessen fees to a point to where it is be free to play here, to where if you play at Skyline and you play for Frederick, all you got to do is show up, kick a soccer ball, and enjoy the fans. Yeah. But we all know the stories. Like, I tore my ACL, I had a baby, my grades are bad. My excuses are why you didn't make it far. I opened the door with Skyline, kind of asked them, okay, now what? There's opportunity. You've continued to say you can't play or it's not fair. here's an open door, safe place where you can actually come and try out. If you don't make it, you can join our team of staff. You can join the volunteer items, or even try the kids some nonprofit side as well that we're doing as well. Okay. So pretty much just giving the opportunity. We came up with the motto of Unite and Believe the Sky's the Limit, which is unite the community behind the sport of soccer, because soccer is growing tremendously in this country now, and having every player believe they can play at this level, and then knowing that as long as we're Skyline, the sky's the limit. And that alone has just brought the intention of players like, okay, I want to be here. Even driving from D.C., Montgomery, some people from Virginia, they're like, the motto alone is just something special.
Yeah. So where do you find your play? I mean, what league is this?
The league is called United Premier Soccer League, which is UPSL, which is the third division of soccer pyramid, which is right next to about USL 2 and NPSL as well. One jump above us is something called NISA Pro, which is the goal. That's where a local team called Maryland Bobcats play at. That is the official pro. So in our pyramid, it's considered minor league, semi-pro as well. Okay. For kind of similar to, some of them do and some of them do not. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I understand that. And as you're building and growing and getting fans and sponsors and things like that. So you were responsible for sponsors.
Yep.
Yeah. And so what types of things do you have on offer if there's a company out there that's interested in getting involved?
Yeah, so we have a few different things. We have jersey sponsors, so where you can have your logo right on the jersey, sleeves, front, back, just like a normal soccer team would. We have banners that we can hang up at games. We have season tickets that you guys can purchase. We're also going to start looking into doing a magazine for the season, kind of like the Keys do for game day magazines. We want to just do one for the whole season just because with soccer, we don't have like 6-day homestands. We have one game, then we're all for like 2 weeks or on the road. So it's harder to do, the clump. It's just easier to do the whole season. And we have the men and women's team. So there's opportunity if you prefer one or the other, or if you want to get involved in both.
Right. And do they both play the same day? The men's and the women's, or they're completely separate?
There's about a month or two gap between the men and the women. The men usually start on time, usually. And then for the women's side, there's not much teams in the area at all. Just in general, there's not enough women's teams. So they only play late spring, summer. Yeah. But it's another benefit for us because our women's team is actually the only women's team in the state of Maryland competing in this league. So that tells you a lot. It's right here in Frederick. So we have people coming from PA, from Virginia, D.C. just to be here because the growth is amazing right now. Okay. And the women are better than the men. But like I have a personal friend, Jake Hood, that does amazing. He's a local guy here, and he does amazing work with them. Okay. And we have a lot more local girls and all that team than we do for the men, but they're more of a family than the men are kind of like, hey, and the women are like, hey. So it happens.
We're like that. We're a little bit like that. Where are you from originally?
So I'm from here, but I grew up from Montgomery County. Okay. Then my father moved us out here in 2005, and ever since then I've been here in Frederick.
Okay, very good. Very good. What do you love about Frederick?
Just community, honestly. It's like a tight little home. Because right now I reside in Walkersville with my wife, and it's like I'm not really tired of Frederick. Montgomery County is the traffics, the headaches. I didn't really know much growing up, but I knew my dad was tired of like just the area of just consistency, congestion, and all that. We moved out here, and I went to Tuscarora High School, and there used to be a farm there. Now it's a bunch of houses. So I think what I love about Frederick is just everybody knows everybody, and if everybody goes to an event, they recommend other people. Everything's like word of mouth. And you can walk the streets of downtown and see different young people trying to make it something. And like the older ones are like encouraging it, which is why when I joined the chamber, Debbie kind of told me I was the youngest one there, and looked around and all the older women and men were like, how old are you? I'm like 24, 25. They were like, wow, okay, good job. So it's kind of just having that family-oriented community, which is what I see here in Frederick. This is great.
All right. If there's one thing you want people of Frederick to know about your team, what would that be?
Honestly, we're definitely different from a lot of soccer teams in the area. Not only do we have a men and women's team, which is rare in this league, but it's going to be something amazing, something special. Our main goal is to have Frederick behind us. Our main goal is just flood our social medias, our emails with events because we really want to attend every event.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Frederick Skyline, you got a March to June, right?
Yep. March to June coming up.
Everybody's fine. Be looking out because you guys will be doing a lot of stuff, I'm assuming, and like
oh yeah,
and being out in the community.
Yeah, we got a mascot now.
Oh
yeah.
What is a mascot for Frederick Skyline? Like
I can't really say right now. No, somebody has it. I'm not going to point fingers, but somebody has it.
It might be in the trunk of my car.
Yeah, so only a few people have seen it, but it has a whole jersey and everything else. But we are going to do a name the mascot with the Frederick community as well. We have a few partners we're doing it with, but that launch probably happen next 2 weeks.
Okay, we'll be looking out for that. Follow them on their socials, check out the website, and get ready for some soccer in 2025.